Thank you very much for making the time to meet with us under such difficult circumstances. I remember that we spoke over the phone, and I also share with you that my country for decades has terribly suffered from the scourge of terrorism, and we are well placed to understand Israel's sorrow and frustration. The atrocities committed by the terrorist organization Hamas are utterly shocking. And I would like to start by saying that Spain shares Israel's pain. And we condemn once again the shocking acts of terrorism of October 7th. I also would like to share with you that we celebrate the agreement that will allow to bring back home some of those innocent civilians that are being held hostage by Hamas, and to establish a humanitarian pause. I hope it will be implemented as soon as possible. All remaining hostages must be released. As we spoke over the phone, Prime Minister, Israel has the right to self-defense against these attacks. But let me also be clear, Israel must also abide by international law, including international humanitarian law, in its response. Because we suffered also in Spain, I'm convinced that terrorism cannot be eradicated exclusively through the use of force. My second message is that we need to urgently stop the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. The dreadful suffering of hundreds of thousands of people in Palestine is appalling. The whole world is shocked at the image of that we see coming from Gaza every day. The number of Palestinians killed is truly unbearable. I believe that all civilians must be protected at all costs. Military operation must clearly distinguish between terrorist objectives and the civilian protection. Humanitarian aid must enter the Gaza Strip immediately, at scale and regularly. The risk of more people dying from famine must urgently be addressed. As you know, Prime Minister, the UN Security Council resolution calls for urgent and extended humanitarian pauses and corridors to be implemented, and the UN Security Council resolutions are binding for all UN member states. Furthermore, we must urgently take the necessary steps towards a lasting humanitarian ceasefire. I believe the Palestinian Authority should take responsibility over Gaza, and the international community should accompany and bring in the necessary support to make it sustainable. And finally, Prime Minister, in order to achieve this, we must start working as of now on implementing the two-state solution. Today, more than ever, we need to bring back a serious and credible perspective for peace. Without a political settlement, we are bound to run again into a never-ending cycle of violence. I have proposed with other colleagues convening an international peace conference with the parties as soon as possible. And as you know, the European Union, the League of Arab States, and the Organization for Islamic Cooperation have all endorsed this idea. So any solution must be comprehensive. It is in Israel's interest to work for peace. And today peace means the establishment of the Palestine state, a visible and a viable Palestinian state that includes the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, according to UN resolutions. Israelis and Palestinians have the right to live in peace and security. This is also our goal. The international community must accompany the process to achieve this. So you can count, Prime Minister, on Spain for that difficult endeavor. And